Hey everyone, Ashley Mailloux here with the Daily Racing Form. The final Coast to Coast Pick 5 is upon us for this Sunday, April 9th, at least the final one for this season. And it's an interesting sequence. It's going to actually get kicked off at Santa Anita in their third race, which is a 5.5 furlong turf sprint. It's a compact field in here, but I actually thought this was a competitive race. You could make a couple of arguments for different horses. End up using the 1, 2, and the 4. The 1 thinks the horse is just going to improve, making that third start of 2023 and raced really well at this level last time out, was closing hard, just missed by 3/4 of a length. So I like this one getting a little added distance going from 5 to 5.5. The 2, Chaos Theory, I think you can discard this most recent effort. This horse had a horrible start, was slow, had some traffic in there. So I'm really keen on that race 2 and 3 starts back. So if this horse can kind of overcome a better start and kind of get that better trip early on, worth a shot. And then the 4, Maven, 5 for 17 in the career. I know this horse in 2023 and 2022 is just 1 for 8, but I thought last time out, this horse raced very well at this level. Frankie Dettori was aboard in that race, back aboard this Sunday. So I think this horse could have a better shot. Second time into those two teaming up. Now we'll move to Gulfstream Park for their 8th race, 1.70 miles on the Tapeta, another starter allowance. The horse to beat in here, I think, is the number 9, Carruthers. He's going to try to keep that win streak alive and win 3 races in a row. In terms of trip, he can be closer. He can come from off of it. He does get that outside draw, which I do think suits him well. He's a 3-time winner on the Gulfstream Park Tapeta course. Like I said, I think he's the one to beat, but I didn't want to leave out the number 2, Iman, who I know didn't race too well last time out, going 7.5 on the turf, but 2 starts back. Was very game, well defeated behind Therapist. We know this one just won about a week ago and kind of stepped up at Gulfstream, a really nice performance. And this horse has raced well on the Tapeta, and at least the connections, Joe Orsino has taken this horse on the road in the past and has done well. So I think Iman at 8-1 on the morning line, a horse to certainly toss in there. Now, race number 9 at Gulfstream Park is the next race in the sequence, an allowance optional claiming event for state bred fillies and mares 3 and up, 5 furlongs on the turf. I found it hard to distinguish between the 3, Claudette Air, and the 4, Baby Steps. You look at them, they both exit that same key race on March 9th. And the big thing is they really were kind of splitting hairs in the end. They finished 2nd and 3rd respectively, both beaten by a neck. It was kind of a really close finish. In the case of Claudette Air, this is a horse that closed a little bit from off of it, where Baby Steps was forwardly placed. I think they both can improve second off the freshening. And I think the other big thing to note in terms of the price might be slightly different. Baby Steps, Jorge Delgado, Chantel Sutherland, always ones to watch. And in the case of Claudette Air, it's Safi Joseph Jr. and Edgar Zayas. But I still think the 4 might take more play in race number 9. Now we go back to California. We stay out there. Race number 5, 6.5 furlongs on the turf course there. The number 6, What Makes Sammy Run. This horse is getting some class relief after being in stakes races back to back to back. Go down the page. This is the first time he's kind of dropping. He's also in for that $80,000 tag. Certainly has the back class, has 3 wins on that turf course. And in terms of trip, I think should get a good trip in here and should improve second off the layoff. But the number 7, Count of Amazonia for Bob Hess Jr., I thought was a must use. This horse did not fire last time out. It was a long shot though, 15-1. Not only is this horse getting class relief, but 2 starts back at 6.5 furlongs, was able to get the job done at this level. I know this horse is in for the tag on Sunday, but I just think Frankie Dettori climbing back aboard, getting back to that level should help. And hopefully the pace will be right for this one, because I do think the 2 and the 3 show some early speed. And then to wrap up the sequence, race number 7 at Santa Anita, it's the John Shear Mile, 6.5 furlongs. Excuse me, not the John Shear Mile, the John Shear, 6.5 furlongs on the turf. The 4 conclude is a horse that obviously impressed last time out with that 96 Beyer speed figure, but the 3, Valiants, are going to look to keep that win streak alive. You're going to try to make it 3 in a row, and the barn does very well with winners last time out in turf sprints over the past year or so, 29% in terms of wins, 71% in the money. So I use that horse as well. So looking at my ticket, I do spread early in that sequence in that first race, and then just 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So a $48 play for this final Coast to Coast Pick 5 of the season.